Alright guys, BLM here back with more Psychonauts 2. Continuing on. What am I doing? Which one is this? Mental connection. What was that? I guess we'll go with that.
Come on, Raz.
Yeah, it's next morning-ish. Actually, it's afternoon. But I'll probably do an episode too.
The idea. Not jump inside it like a hamster ball.
Sorry. Old habit from the circus, I guess.
Not only is cilantro delicious, it's affordable and easy to grow in a window box herb garden.
What the heck is that?
What?
You left a slime trail.
It's like he connected the two thoughts together.
Oh, now you're in trouble. Hey, what's the big idea?
Looks like disgust.
Well, I'm sure it's not the first time Rasputin has created that thought in someone's mind.
Yeah, we'll probably listen to the podcast when we get more
Not only is
gameplay.
cilantro delicious, it's affordable. Not only is cilantro delicious, it's affordable and easy to grow. I know cilantro reduces the risk of digestive distress, but it tastes like soap. And honestly, I'd rather have the gas.
Hey, Raz. If you can change Forsyth's opinion of cilantro, maybe you could change her mind about the casino mission.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, she worries about us kids too much. It's taking years off of her life expectancy.
If you could get her not to be so worried all the time, we could all go on a real Psychonauts mission!
Well, I don't suppose it would hurt to take a look around up there. Just see if there's any, you know, problems.
Straight to the top, Raz! Of course, if you're scared, don't do it.
Well,
I mean,
what's this
you'll
little
probably
nut?
get kicked out of the Psychonauts for trying, but what the heck?
Connect those thoughts, young man.
Try not to kill her brain, Raz.
Remember, it's for the good of the mission.
Straight to the top, Raz! Of course, if you're scared, don't do it.
I mean, you'll probably get kicked out of the Psychonauts for trying, but what the heck?
Connect those thoughts, young man.
Try not to kill her brain, Raz.
What's the
Remember,
other thought?
it's for the good of the mission.
Straight to the top, Raz. Of course, if you're scared, don't do it.
Oh, wait. This was a terrible idea.
They just don't have the experience. I'll just have to get Sasha to give up half of his laboratory budget. It was hard enough getting him to give up wearing socks with sandals, but you did it, Forsyth. Remember that. Need to cut out the frills in the
Oh,
cafeteria.
I didn't realize that was in the game.
This was a bit...
Oh, fuck, wrong button.
Our Lady of Restraint Neurological Hospital. I think Hollis said she was an intern here once.
I always had my best ideas here. Let's just hope I don't run into Dr. Putz.
Maybe trying to change her mind is a bad idea. No, wait. I think that is a bad idea.
Oh. Let's pause it real quick. Let's just start the podcast. I guess Spartacus is getting announced next week. Interesting.
And I thought that that is like super valuable, something that Kevin did very well in this conversation, really making it feel like he was opening up to Jess. Now, obviously, it is a little bit of like a hold that Jess has on him, in the sense that if Jess tells people that this is what Kevin does, people will be looking at Kevin sideways a little bit. But for the most part, it's a fairly harmless secret that feels very heavy, and I think that he did a very good job.
Hollis and try to change her mind about the mission.
Oh
Sounds
my
like there's
God! Look at the size of that kid's head!
nearby.
Get him to radiology, stat!
Oh.
Of revealing it to them in that way.
I mean, it's no sports media, but it's something.
Yes,
Oh, please. I was just...
so he says, "This is my biggest secret in the game. Please don't tell anyone." And they go, "What, do you think I tell people things?" And he says, "No, I don't." But and this is again like,
Yes, we'll be
I just,
on that.
I just stepped on myself here. Let me, how do I get out of this one? He goes, no, but let me tell you, let me give you something else to make up for what that I just did there. There are people that do say that. So, you know, Josh said that to me. Josh says that you can't keep a secret. And obviously, like you had that thing with him this morning, or the yesterday morning. I think that you should try to work on Josh. I'll try to work on Josh. I think that you can still work with Josh, but there is a little bit of a rift there, and he does think that you can't keep a secret. I'm gonna try to get Josh to confide in you that he's working with Betty, because it's obvious he's working with Betty. Everyone knows it, but he thinks it's secret. So if we can get him to confide in you that he's working with Betty, that's a good way for him to be telling you a secret.
Disgusting. Good luck collecting your debts after I'm dead, losers.
Hey, I got half a mind. I've got half a mind to look for the other half. Something tells me it's not too far away.
Good luck collecting your debts after I'm dead, losers.
Then you can keep the secret, and then we can help him sort of like get this back on track.
That's no good.
Right, and you know, the Josh conversation is what we're gonna end the night with. So some of the stuff that you're hearing.
How did I end up stressing about money management all day? Well, I just need to put those thoughts aside and focus on the children. Their safety is the most important thing. And it's not just because a lawsuit would bankrupt us right now. That casino mission would be good experience for them, but it's too risky. What if I let them go and the worst happens? Need to focus. Only one unfathomable fear at a time, Forsyth.
If Hollis associated risk with something more positive than death, it would open her up to so many more missions. I mean, life experiences.
I definitely could not handle that stressful casino mission right now. I just remembered how dire the Psychonauts' finances are. If the Psychonauts don't get some more funding soon, I'm going to die. That's all there is to it.
If Hollis wants to solve her money problems, she's gonna need to accept some risk.
Sure, it's fun to take risks. But what use is it?
That's not the change I was going for.
Sure, it's fun to take risks. but what use is it? Don't people who wear socks with sandals worry about rattlesnake bites?
Interesting. But that's not going to help us go on that casino.
I definitely could not handle that stressful casino mission. I definitely could not handle that stressful casino mission right now.
No.
I think I just figured out how to solve all our money problems.
Hey, Teach, what gives? I was in the middle of a sweet hookup there.
Guess what, kids? You all did so well on your lesson. How about we give your new power a test drive out in the field?
You mean we're going on the mission? For real?
Isn't that dangerous?
You know what they say, Sam. Nothing ventured, nothing brained.
I don't think that's what...
Let's roll.
Heck yes!
Cool.
All right.
Sweet.
Woo!
I'm so glad you changed your mind about the mission, Agent Forsyth. I was nervous about bringing the children, but if you feel that it's safe, then it must be.
It's crucial they find out what these delusionists are up to at the casino. With you handling tactical command, I'd say our probability of mission success has risen 35%.
I'll take those odds. Now, how long till we reach the Lady Luctopus?
We are almost there.
Agent Forsyth, how are you feeling?
Lucky.
Well, we're here. Using a false identity, we've secured a high roller suite to use as our base of operations.
Now, children, you are not to leave the suite. Like most casinos, the Lady Luctopus has a strict no psychics policy.
Weak. Be happy for this chance to observe Agent Forsyth in action. Teacup, this is Shoehorn. We are nearing position 1. I'm moving down the primary ventilation shaft, and Dustpan is approaching the front desk.
Shh.
Teacup, come in.
What you doing, Morris?
Are you there?
I'll tell you what I'm not doing.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
not watching
Shoehorn,
the
this is
semi-final practice vote
I have
to find out who's maybe not going on to the next round of Hookup Gladiators.
Position 1. After you've disabled the side detectors and inhibitors, you're going to...
Everything's good on the mission so far.
You mean except for our mission commander having a total breakdown?
It's not a breakdown. She's just strategizing.
Uh-huh.
Because my position is close.
No need to explain, agents.
What are you doing in there, Sam?
When Agent Forsyth finally blows, this will be the only safe place.
Wait, this is a TV, right? You're not just some big dark... Right?
Yep.
Where am I supposed to be going?
Don't you think we should all be focused on the mission right now, Morris?
Forsyth's got it.
That's all right. Talk to Hollis.
Hey, maybe we should keep out of Agent Forsyth's, operations theater?
Something is really not right with Hollis. What did you do to her?
What, me? Nothing. I just...
Made her love gambling?
She's fine. She just needs a little space.
I cannot take my eyes off this train wreck. You are going to be in so much trouble.
Rasputin, don't sneak up on me like that. Listen, do me a favor and run up to the jet, will you? I need my dowsing goggles. I left them on my seat, I think. You wanted to be on a mission. Now here's your first objective. Catch my dowsing goggles.
Just shake and spray to unlock touch-activated
hurry.
set technology.
Our window of opportunity is
hours
closing.
or even days later.
All right, I'll be right back.
Overthink it. You throw two people up that said your name. You make it super simple, super easy. You don't get too fancy. And they're like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't see any dowsing goggles anywhere. I mean, to be
What do you
fair,
think?
I have no idea what they look like. I've actually never even heard of dowsing. Oh no. Agent Forsyth, where are you going? No, Hollis, what did I do to you?
Rasputin, is that you?
Mia? Sasha? Agent Forsyth is missing, but don't worry. I'll find her.
Hurry, Rasputin. We're in big trouble here.
Yes, please find Agent Forsyth right away. I don't know how long I can hold on.
I'm on it.
Is Kevin right?
I think Kevin is right. I think
who should go up?
Well, so here's the thing. I do think that that Herman is probably the right target for Jess. I think that ultimately, again, I think the most important thing for Jess is, they're already on track with locking in, Gino, Jace, Marty, Kevin, Helena, and even Josh to some degree. I think that the important part for them now is to have these conversations with Summer and Tanisha, because the thing is, Tanisha's not the danger everyone thinks she is, and if Jess can develop a relationship with Tanisha that's good and solid, that would be huge for Jess in the game.
Oh, don't know why I did that.
So work on that relationship. They've already indicated to themselves, at least, that they wouldn't mind seeing Herman go, and that they wouldn't mind seeing Moose stay, but they also wouldn't mind seeing Moose go. So get their opinions, make them feel heard, make it, and really, Jess probably doesn't realize this, but Jess could probably make it seem like it was Summer and Tanisha's idea to take out Herman. And then you're in a really nice spot. I do think Herman is the right target for Jess ultimately, particularly because of this next Josh conversation. You take out Herman, you cut off that newly formed funnel too between him and Josh, and things are looking a lot better for you on the board if you've developed that relationship with Summer and Tanisha. So that's what I think that they should do. And on the surface, it all looks very simple and straightforward. So I think that's the play.
Did Agent Forsyth say where
I
she
think
was going?
ultimately,
She
if
just
the
said she
veto
was
does
going to
get
solve
used,
all of our problems.
Jess
once
has to
and for
basically
all.
pick
That's
someone
not
that, without a doubt, will have the votes to stay and the other person to leave, for them to have the optimal week they want. And I think putting up Gino, I could see Gino leaving.
Oh yeah.
So, and if that wasn't your objective, then there's no point. Because if your objective is to get rid of him, you put him up now. You don't put him up in the as the third nominee. Because at this point, your mind's made up on who the two are that you would like to see one of leave.
Yeah, Gino either leaves or he stays, and the people who voted to keep him get to use that as the most recent, chip to use with Gino. That hey, I'm developing a relationship with you, Gino. I'm working to keep you.
Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going.
It's not the way. If Gino stayed, he's probably not in a spot where you would
So I'm not
want
supposed to
him
go
to stay
there.
anymore. So I don't think putting Gino up is the right call here.
Well, I mean, I did see it, but I
you know,
I could grab onto
in
it.
the event,
Oh,
in
what
the
the fuck?
somewhat likely event
my
that Jess might need a replacement nominee, I do think that, you know, somebody like Betty wouldn't be the worst option in the world. Sometimes I get it, people don't want to piss Betty off, but sometimes you just got to go with the easy pawn option. And Betty is in that position in the house right now. She still doesn't want anything, and it's also kind of like a little bit of a, like, you know, if Betty goes up against Herman, you kind of neuter Josh a little bit in his potential campaign to try and keep Herman around, which again we will get to
Hollis,
soon.
wait.
You could also throw Betty up initially and then go for the back door, which is something worth, I think, considering all this veto stuff, because I really do think you want Herman out over Moose. But it's not the worst thing if Moose goes, especially if you can then, again, considering the conversation between Josh and Jess that we're about to get to, you can kind of like out Josh and Herman as close. You can maybe paint another target there. So I think ultimately Moose and Gina, Moose and...
Don't worry, Agent Forsyth. I can fix this.
Mesdames et messieurs, rien ne va plus. Ladies and gentlemen, no more bets.
Huh. Well, it's different. But maybe it's not so bad.
Herman is a pretty good plan in general, but we'll see how the week goes, and it requires more work that I haven't seen Jess do yet, but we'll see how Jess handles the summer invitation conversations as we move forward. Jace is gonna let Gino know. Dude, you gotta talk to Jess. It's like, alright, I'll do it eventually.
Agent Forsyth?
Gino's back to his chillin' ways, Karen. Just hanging out, not doing, you know, doing whatever. Not really focused on doing a whole lot. Obviously, he's still coming down off of the HOA train and having got rid of Kyle. So, I don't know. He seemed like he was like a little bit out of it last night, but also I can't blame him.
Yes. So Josh is going to talk to Jess, and Jess asks Josh, "Who are you close with?" He says Betty and Helena. He is still kind of playing up the discord between himself and Marty. I think he's trying to play into what he thinks Jess wants from him, which is that Jess was upset that he wasn't more upset about Marty wanting Josh on the block, and so now he's trying to like overcompensate for that, and he's talking about how sketchy he finds Marty, but that's not what Jess wants to hear now, because Jess doesn't want to go for Marty. So Jess lets Josh know, like, I'm thinking about doing Moose and Herman, and they want to know from Josh, like, who he'd think between the two of them, and Josh is pretty heavy-handed in how firmly he wants Herman to stay and Moose to go. He says that, you know, he doesn't have a great relationship with Moose. He feels like Moose is like a sketchier player, and he would rather Moose leave. Jess pushes back pretty firmly. I think Herman is the much more connected player, no? I mean, he's a lot more entrenched, he's a lot more powerful in the game, and Josh and Moose is just kind of by himself right now, a little bit. And Josh says, I think Moose can rebuild really fast, though, if you don't get him out. I feel like you gotta get him out soon, you gotta get him out quick. And Jess is like, but Herman is already, like, established. Like, Herman is already in that spot. I feel like Herman is the call. And Jess is kind of starting to realize, like, oh, so who would you have put up if you had won? And Josh says, probably like Moose and Marty. And like, if alarm bells aren't going off in Jess's head, then their head is not in the game.
You did it, Dr.
Well, I
Potts.
think the bigger focus for Jess in that conversation was, why is Herman not getting any of the negative stuff that we're talking, like that they think he should be getting? Because again, Josh very clearly indicates where he would go, where his mind would be, where his vote would go. And I think Jess is more so focused on, but why not Herman, than to think, oh, you put a party. Okay, well, why? So I feel like that is something that Jess in that moment was more so focused on. Ultimately, Jess does say, so if you won the veto, if you play and you win the veto, because first, would you want to win the veto? Yes. If you win the veto, can you promise me you wouldn't use it? Josh promises he wouldn't use the veto to Jess in the event that he wins it this week.
I mean, we know Josh is very quick to make veto promises, so we'll see where that actually
mess. High Rollers Lounge? That's not good. Oh no!
Rasputin, what are you doing here?
Sorry, I didn't mean to crash your hospital casino.
Oh, everyone's welcome in the casino. Without gamblers, how else would we make any money? No, you just can't be up here because it's the High Rollers Lounge.
Wait! Agent Forsyth, I need to tell you. What the? Oh, phew. It's just the morgue. Huh?
Yes, Rasputin?
We got a patient here. Needs emergency access.
Sorry. The table minimum in the High Rollers Lounge is, $3 gazillion.
What? How much is a gazillion?
More than you got, kid.
Alright.
Open up.
Veto checks can bounce at any time.
He needs fancy drinks.
Now, just as a reminder, if you forgot or hadn't listened to the last couple of updates, I think it might have been yesterday's update actually. Herman very recently proposed a final two with Josh. Josh had not been feeling great about Herman, but Herman really went for it with Josh. Pitched a final two called BCBs, the BC Babies, and so. It seems as though that landed, and that is why Josh is, and maybe he's not like fully in Herman's corner by any means, but between Herman and Moose, he has very little relationship with.
Looking for a little luck here.
He's looking to send Moose out over Herman.
Or you could just like.
So he's definitely pushing here, and despite the indication from Jess that I really want Herman, Josh is not backing down, and if Herman has any chance of staying, I think it's gonna come from Josh. It would be Herman pulling himself out of the fire with some quick work, making that final two with Josh before the HOH. Josh is somebody that could absolutely go to Summer and Tanisha, who currently, seem to prefer Moose sticking around over Herman, but with Josh's influence, I think he could easily tip the scales. I don't think the scales are that heavily weighed toward Herman, so he could easily tip the scales in that direction. He also has influence over Betty, and Betty could move in that way as well. The problem is that, is he really going to try and lead a revolt against Jess, again, on this vote, if it is Moose and Herman by the end of the week, and it's looking like it needs to be a, Josh, Summer, Tanisha, Betty, and I don't even know who the fifth vote is here. It would be probably Kevin, Kalina, Gino, Jason, or the other sides. They would need to pull a fifth vote. Maybe they could pull Gino and Jason to flip against Jess as well, if they feel like they're going to feel a lot better about Marty than it was still kind of a tough poll. If Jess lost the votes in the way that they should be to get Marty out, to get Colin out. But even if they can't pull it, will they want to? Is another question, especially something like Josh, like really stick their neck out for Alliance and just for Herman. Is another question. Things could get interesting here if they both stay on the block, but that seems kind of unlikely again with how the vetoes have been playing out. So, interesting stuff there.
Yeah, the trend of winning veto and nominees coming off is definitely something that's in everyone's head at this point. No one yet has said, well, I'm not going to put my target on the block. That hasn't happened yet. I wonder if we're going to get closer to that if someone does win.
Here we go again.
Who knows? But I do think it'll be a very interesting week in in that I'm very excited to see the Moose campaign versus the Herman campaign, where that goes. I'm interested to see if Herman is able to reassure Tanisha, reassure Summer that he is good with them. It's going to be fascinating to see. I think that, I said at the top of this podcast that this week, more so than the last week, is more set in stone.
He said he thinks next time is our lucky spin.
I think there's going to be a lot of gameplay here, and I think, again, we're knocking on Jory's door. I think no one wants to be this close to missing out on that. So I think everyone who's going to be nominated is going to play hard for Survivor.
What about my birthday?
Really, the last thing Kevin and Helena do check in last night, and they are still, they haven't really, done regular check-ins, but they are still seemingly in lockstep here. Kevin says, like, I've got Jess, like, I've got Jess, and Helena's like, I got Marty, like, we're in, like, and so they feel pretty good about the situation. Jess winning this was huge for Kevin's game, definitely big for Helena's game if they're gonna get what they want here and potentially take out Herman. So I would definitely look out for the both of them, again, making sure that those votes are locked in if Herman stays up on the block. And I do get the sense that Kevin is more loyal to a Helena than a Jess overall. So that's where we're at. Some interesting intrigue going on in the house, but yeah.
Very much a lot of intrigue. There was some stuff this morning. I want to steal from the Saturday person again, so I won't do that. I will say one thing only, and that is Betty essentially told Jess that if Herman was on the block, there's pretty much a 0% chance that she would vote against Herman. So Jess now has that information for potential renomming if Jess decides I really need Herman gone. Knows where Betty is. Betty mentioned the siblings to Jess. Taryn, who's part of the siblings?
No more bets.
Good question. We'll find that out at some point, hopefully. I didn't see anyone mention it, so I thought, it might be something that was made well lead her down or something. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this day goes. This is going to be Herman's first time on the block, potentially here, and then Moose has obviously been on the block before, but this is a different circumstance than the Wildlands that was Q3. So we'll see where everything goes. I'm excited to find out. I also want to mention, do we know for sure juries this week? So last night I went through all the BB Camp wikis, and there are seasons where there were 16 people, but they started with 14, or there were seasons where they started with 14, then there was a 15. Those were 7. But BB Camp 5 that started with 16 out the gate was 9. So I assume 9. I'm assuming 9 currently with 16.
I mean, it would be weird to have like 7 full people evicted before we got to the jury. But who knows? Who knows what we're seeing? Yeah. So yeah, that's about what we had from yesterday. As we mentioned, there has been some stuff this morning, but we will get to that tomorrow, of course, as things move. The plan, I believe, is still in place. Moose and Herman for the block, and maybe a little bit of conversations happening between Jess and Moose and Jess and Herman, but I don't think they've necessarily changed anything. So that's what we got. That's what we're looking at here. Anything else you want to bring up?
No, I think that's everything. I think we covered. It was a good, chunkier update today than the Friday's past. But
all right. Well, I look forward to that tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update everything that happens today on the Big Brother Canada 10 live feeds. We will have the official nominations locked in by tomorrow morning, and probably some more idea of how the vote might go if the two stay on the block. And then we'll be looking at the veto competition happening tomorrow, which we'll update you on Sunday morning. So tune in for all of that. And of course, come and find me over on Twitch.tv/Turn watching the episodes live with all of you. It's a lot of fun. I'm also going to be doing an Oscar stream tomorrow, probably. So that's we'll be talking some movies, some Oscar movies with Melissa. And then on Sunday,
you consider getting a baby to be winning?
Gaming, and then Monday we'll have another episode.
Whoa, I want my bottle.
Once a year, we go over the Hall of Fame ones. We do. It's Girl Scout cookies this spring. Yep. So these were announced just last week. Wanted to go over them. So some big ones, some returners, big ones, some big potential choices this year. Some returning choices from previous years, and one that I am particularly excited to see on the list. We'll go through them. So Assassin's Creed is on this year. That's one of the first ones that honestly I don't really understand. Museum of Play the Strong. Museum, gotta do it every year because obviously they have toys and video games. They have a bunch of stuff. I've been there. The actual location is the whole museum is awesome.
Try the Lake of our Yacht.
I know Rochester's a nice area, but it's nothing ever. There's no reason to ever be Rochester. Get a garbage plate, go to the museum. That's the weekend. You can actually do all of that in the museum. Really? They have a Bill Gray's located in the museum. Bill Gray's is one of the famous places for garbage plates. So, Assassin's Creed, this is going to be the one that I'm going to say right off the bat. I just don't get. I know it's a popular series, but it seems to be popular simply for the sake of its perseverance in getting a release every 20 freaking games year till the end of time. And I mean, I know it's never been a series. I know people like it, but you got a movie. I guess I don't understand necessarily what makes this stand out or important. Did it popularize like historical action? I don't care. Like that, maybe? Right. So they said they debuted in 2007 as a sequel to the popular Prince of Persia franchise, but put this on its own. The open world action. I mean, it is one of the earlier, more successful open world games. Yeah, I guess this could make it like down the road. No, right? You know what I mean? That's fine. Candy Crush Saga, get it. Haven't played it, but I understand it. I mean, if you're telling people get it or you get it, I get it. I get finalist. Yeah, I get why it's a finalist. I wasn't a bus ride or a train ride that I would take to work where I wouldn't sit down and notice or hear someone playing. Well, the first big smartphone game. Yeah, Candy Crush. How many hundreds? Okay. Oh, sorry. 3 billion downloads. Popularized the free-to-play model. Was that a 3 thing? I think similar to that. Yeah, kind of. I never really played Candy Crush. Match 3? What's it called? Pile matching. Dance Dance Revolution. Absolutely, I understand it. I don't know if it'll get in this time. I mean, the game. It was one of the first incredibly popular music games. It was one of the first games that I remember people watching for announcements of it coming over to the U.S. It took over. I mean, arcades for
I would definitely put this in for no other reason that this will be the only game guaranteed to probably always have like an arcade release. Like this will always be like stable. Sure. They always do the upgrade. I mean, like you're always going to see a DDR machine in an arcade. Or even a Dave & Buster's, until the end of time. There's something to that.
It's funny to me because I remember we used to travel to play DDR, and then it very quickly got to the point where we used to travel to play DDR, and then within the course of a couple of years we saw how popularity rise, and then I mean you're right. Every arcade, even a decent size, has a DDR machine in it now. But they've been around forever, and obviously you can do software upgrades, the same controller. So like it's almost like future proof. It's funny, it's just it's a directional pad that you stop on. Get a little bit of a aerobic workout. I reviewed the Disney DDR in a certain 94 guide. And I used the pad. I got the pad. I put it through spaces. Ocarina of Time. Yes, I get it. I didn't like it, but I mean it's the first 3D Zelda. It's one of the. I mean, it took what Mario 64 introduced and then blew it wide open. It was like this is really what you can do with the 3D, 3D game with free movement.
7.6 million consoles worldwide. Off the top of my head, the 64 only did about 25 to 30 million.
I'm honestly surprised that we talked about attach rates recently. I'm surprised that's not higher.
Yeah, 64 sales. So let's see how many can do with my top end. The one thing I would say about this, I did 33. So that's what Zelda usually does, right? You're not gonna have everyone buy Zelda. You're gonna get a chunk.
No, I just figured it might be higher on the 64 because there was less.
Gotcha. There was less. That was appealing. Yeah, that's how hard you want the kids getting super smart. The only thing I was gonna say that, so now you're not just doing like franchises. It's gonna be individual games for the whole thing itself, getting logistics. We'll just come back and we do Breath of the Wild like years and years later. Like I'm guessing I can get Nessie. I'd rather.
I think we'll get in here. Next episode, thank you very much.
Just like think of logistics. I want to see a Zelda game every year.